Skylar Faith. What episode are we on? That's nuts.
Can you believe that? How about that beautiful music you're listening to? Isn't that incredible? That's our musical guest this evening, Anishka Skareppa. I just know her as Anishka. She's a beautiful vocalist, performer, clearly a soprano, and also my former student. So you're in for a great treat this evening. Nice to see everyone. How are you guys doing? Hold on a second. Let me find you. Oh dear. Let me find you and let me share you. Hold. Here we go. Episode 60. How did we get to 60? No, I can't believe that. I don't know either. 10 weeks, Daddy said? Is it 10 weeks?
If we go to next Friday, it's 10 weeks.
In hours. Hi, Ryan. Hey, Wendy. Hi, Donna. Hi, Marsha. Hearts. Yay. It's very exciting. I'm going to try to get on over here so we can get real time.
Sure.
Skylar, why don't you tell them a little bit about your day while Mama does this?
Mm-hmm.
So I woke up.
Good.
And I went downstairs.
What did you just do right before this? Please don't tell me you forgot. Literally. You were in the living room.
And you got to see a bunch of your friends.
Oh yeah, so I did dance.
You did your virtual dance class. That was really exciting. How did it go?
Dance.
With Miss
In the
Brittany.
classroom.
Yeah,
Virtually.
yeah. It was so great to see the people at Rush's Dance Studio today. Thank you so much for making those Zoom classes possible. Skylar's missed all of her friends there, so we really appreciate that there was a way for her to check in with everyone, and it was really cute.
We also went bike riding.
You went bike riding with
sure
Daddy.
did.
Very good. Had a lunch. Had a ukulele lesson from Jack
I really
virtually.
didn't have lunch today.
You didn't. Okay, you're just throwing
Wow,
us
just-
a
More like
You
a
didn't have lunch today.
snack.
It was more like a snack. So that's what we did today. Lots of good things. Nice to see everyone that's on right now. Hi, Erin. Hi, Louisa. Hi, Garrett. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. So let's get real. Because I don't know how else to be, honestly. It's episode 60. It is a nice day in Tennessee. It was a little cloudy, a little overcast. But I have to be honest with you, as episode 60 rolled around, it was strange for us. We're super happy that we've been able to reach out with you, to you virtually, to connect with our friends, to have community, to build a space where we can share thoughts and share music and share talents and really neat, fun things like games and trivia. But yesterday leading into today was a little bit rocky for me. I was sad. Started with me looking at photographs from our video release for Happy Hour in Heaven, which was in November here in Nashville. My little family and I only moved to Nashville about almost maybe 2 years ago. That's a good way for me to introduce you to my cameraman. That's my husband, Andrew McGinnis, and you saw my daughter, our stage manager, and audience of one, Skylar. But in that short period of time, we were able to really build a nice community here of lovely people that we met, nice friends. And so I was looking at these old pictures, and it's how it is. You start with one, and then I just started scrolling, and it went from our Happy Hour in Heaven release at Betty Lou's Bar with all of my friends that showed up for that, and then my trips to California for Jingle Ball, and then my trips to New York for the charity work I did up there, and then connecting with friends and seeing people from the cabaret and Broadway world that I hadn't seen in a while, and then going up to Jersey and seeing my family there, and then going back to California and making connections there, and then getting to see a show in New York, and coming back here and doing lessons and having recitals with my students, and I started going down a rabbit hole. I was sad. I was really, really mourning the life that we had before this started. And then a whole lot of things happened. I cried a lot. And then I started thinking that it was super selfish of me to be feeling that way, because some people are really having a terrible time right now. Sickness, death for a lot of people that I know, unfortunately, on the East Coast especially, losing parents to this. People that I grew up with losing their parents to this. So then I felt this guilt about what I was feeling. And so I was just having this roller coaster of a day. And one of our guests had canceled for Tuesday, and so I thought, honestly, that I was going to last minute reach out to our dear friend. She checked in with us earlier when we first started this show, She's been a friend of mine for tens of years, I like to say. She's a fabulous person and a wonderful centering friend. Lucky for me, she's also a therapist. So I thought maybe if she were around, I would check in with her again. Thinking maybe I needed a little online therapy and you could all join me. I don't know. Do you need it? Maybe you don't. You're probably fine, but I'm not so fine. So lucky for us, checking in with us again to maybe give us like a virtual pep talk and let us know different ways to cope. Ugh, that word, cope. Here is our beautiful friend, Abby Long. Let's see if Abby Long is home.
She's right behind you.
Oh, she's home. You know what? She's home because everybody's home. Turn the little mic on for her. Hey! Hi, honey. How are you?
Hi. I'm always home. Always home.
Well, lucky for us, you can do what you do virtually. And so for those of you that don't know, Abby, where are you calling in from tonight? Where are you?
I am in beautiful sunny San Diego, California.
Yeah, how is it today? The sun finally popped out. Was it nice today? Was it a good day?
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's about 70 degrees and sunny and breezy. It's amazing.
So I don't honestly know if that makes it better or worse when it's that nice out and everyone's staying home. I mean, it almost might be okay if it's raining. Gotta be home. So we're so happy you could join us, and especially that you could join us last minute. I'm sure you heard me talking a little bit about just this roller coaster of emotions, and it would be one thing if it were just me and I were like sucking up the airwaves to talk about me, but I know that it's a lot of us. I'm getting a lot of texts from friends that are going through this. I'm seeing a lot of it on Facebook and Twitter, and people are sharing that there's no right way to feel, and everyone's having all the feels. And I think what really hit me today was 60 days into this, and people have been at it longer than that, and some people shorter. So I thought, I remembered right in the beginning when it was just fear, complete fear. You had a lot of really good suggestions, and I know that you, through this, have still been working and virtually seeing clients. So can you share some thoughts with us and let us know kind of, any helpful hints you have for this stage of whatever this new normal is?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to speak to what you were saying as you were kind of opening the show tonight, Randy, because I think you're certainly not alone in how you're feeling. I think we're all basically experiencing collective grief right now. We're grieving the loss of the life we knew before COVID-19, right? It's not the same. It's not going to be the same for quite a while. And I think like you said, initially we're all in this crisis mode and we're kind of in fight or flight and trying to just adapt and adjust to whatever's going on. And now the reality has really sunk in it for everybody. That this is a long-term deal. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And we're tired. The fatigue, the grief, the sadness, the awareness of everything that's been lost. And something that you said, I think, was really important to talk about, and that's this sense of comparative suffering. When you were saying before, I feel guilty for feeling badly about how things are going in my life because so many other people have it so much worse. But the reality is comparative suffering really doesn't do anyone any good, right? I mean, it doesn't help you, and it doesn't help the people who are going through an even tougher time. And the reality is there's always someone going through it worse,
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Someone's always got it worse, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. You can always find someone who's suffering more than you are. But that doesn't mean that your feelings aren't valid. And I think we do ourselves a disservice when we ignore our feelings or feel guilty for our feelings because someone else is suffering more than we are. Yeah. The reality is we're all hurting through this.
Right.
And we're all going through our own individual process of trying to cope and adapt to whatever this new normal is or is going to be a week or a month from now.
Right.
It's always changing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think.
But you have a right to own the suckiness of this, you know? And I think there's a balance to be struck. Honestly, I think there's a lot of value in being grateful for what you have, right? And saying, I'm still working, I've got a roof over my head, I'm not food insecure, you know, all the great things that you have in your life. And this really sucks at the same time. Those things aren't mutually exclusive.
Right. Absolutely. Well, that's good perspective. I knew that somewhere in there, but it's, you know, really good to be reminded. Because I try to tell people that, you know, we're all on a journey, and whatever you're feeling, it matters, you know. But sometimes I think I need a reminder. So let's address something else. And I also am going to turn this over to our online audience right now. And we haven't done this in the past, but I did say if people had some questions, they could absolutely ask. And if you have some time, you can certainly answer them.
Great.
One of the questions that's happening a lot where we are is, you know, obviously I've told everyone in the listening audience that I was born and raised on the East Coast and then lived for years on the West Coast. And now we live here in Nashville, right? Somewhere in the middle-ish, right? And so everyone is having a very different experience. So our family in Washington and California is having a very different experience than our family in New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And for Nashville, we've just opened up. I mean, we've really opened up. And, you know, there's a lot of feelings. There are friends of ours who are a little bit nervous about going in full stop. There's some people who are okay and feel like it's just time and there's no time but the present. And I try to really validate everyone's feelings. I understand, of course, the people that need to get back and want to get back to work. But there is that fear of stepping back into the reality. And I know California is just a short bit behind us. I mean, I saw today on the news, you guys are going to start to do a slow phase back also. Can you address that at all, the fear just that we're feeling and the fact that so many different people are feeling so many different ways? Can you address that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, I think, you know, there is a huge range of feelings that people are experiencing as we start to open up things. You know, there's on the one end of the spectrum being really happy that we're getting some semblance of our normal life back, and on the other end of the spectrum, this very realistic fear that this virus is still out there. It's invisible, and you know, people are carrying it asymptomatically, so we don't know who's transmitting it to whom. So we have to, again, it's all about balance, trying to figure out what you're comfortable with and not pushing yourself beyond that. So let's say, you know, in Nashville, restaurants open up and they're at half capacity, and you know, you can go out and have a meal if you want to, but you've got to wear a mask, and your server has to wear a mask, or whatever that looks like. If you're not comfortable with that, then, you know, by all means, just keep doing takeout or cooking at home until you feel, you know, okay in that scenario.
So what I'm hearing is own it, which is, I think, a really great perspective. And that's kind of what most people have been telling me that they're doing right now, is just trying to own the ability to say, I'm not ready yet, or I am ready. Both, you know, I want to be aware of both. You know, some people are ready, and also some people, quite honestly, because we have this discussion a lot, are not as fearful of the virus, or don't think they come in as much contact with people, so they're kind of feel like they're alone anyway. So there are all levels of this, which is one of the things that makes it so incredibly interesting. People are commenting from all over. We've got Jersey and California on, and San Diego, and people love the own the suckiness. I think that's going to be a new hashtag. People talking about wearing masks. And then just other people messaging me. I just got a message too about the same thing, the fear factor and how to sort of cope with that and the uneasiness, you know, that we're feeling.
Yeah.
And so before we let you go tonight, can you leave us with any like final things to do in this new stage? You know, we don't know what the next, you know, month looks like, but some tips that you can leave us with. Last time you talked a lot about, I don't know, sort of like breathing and just spending time on yourself and lots of things. So what can you kind of share with us that might be tips? We need tips.
Okay. Yeah, tips are good. Tips are good. Here's a big one that I think a lot of people are finding helpful, including myself, because I just started doing this a couple weeks ago. We need something to look forward to. A lot of people across the board are telling me, I have nothing to look forward to now, so I'm feeling really down, really irritable, depressed, and So we have to create that for ourselves.
Yes.
If we can't go on the dream vacation or go out to our favorite restaurant, there are still some things that we can do. So, for instance, Chris and I, my partner and I,
Yes.
we started going to different neighborhoods every weekend. We pick one around San Diego, and we do a walking tour of that neighborhood.
Yes.
And we go places that we've never walked through before,
Love it.
so we'll go into the hills of La Jolla, or, we grab our masks and we go. And it's just a different experience that if the pandemic weren't happening, honestly, we probably wouldn't do it, right?
Right.
But it gives us something each week to look forward to. And yes, it's small, but the small things add up. And if you do that on a regular basis, you find something that you can, look forward to every weekend, no matter how small it is. It will have an impact on your mood, your attitude. It really works. Your anxiety level.
I love that. I love that because on yesterday's program, I talked about how I was talking to my suitcase because I was missing traveling. So I was literally having a conversation like, oh, I miss you and we'll be together again, But it was true today when I was chatting with some friends on the phone, and even Andrew and I started planning little things, not big excursions. I know you had a beautiful trip planned for this summer that was canceled. We had some things. I had some tours canceled, but little things. And just having something on the calendar, something. Because right now, all of our calendars, other than the work and the things we have to get done, there's nothing like there that we can look at. I love that idea. I think it's perfect. And
you know what, it makes you appreciate those little things more.
Right.
It really does. We went to Coronado last weekend and walked on the beach, socially distanced from everybody with the masks, and then we went and grabbed some gelato takeout, which, we never really would have thought of as a big deal before, but we really enjoyed the experience because it was so special to be able to do that again.
Yeah, I love it.
So talk about gratitude.
Yeah, I know. Well, I love it. These are great ideas. So many people giving you hearts and thumbs up and really appreciating your words. I love that. I love the idea of planning ahead, something to look forward to. You always give us such great advice, and you center us and just make us understand that wherever we are on this journey, we're okay. But I'm gonna plan something. I don't know. And I love the fact that you went for gelato because you couldn't go to Italy. I think that's kind of perfect. I mean, it's not the same, but
exactly.
And next weekend, Little Italy. No. Well, I love you, Julie. Yeah.
Just something. In speaking of things to look forward to, I look forward to your show every day. That's something at the end of my workday after I've been, doing video sessions with clients. I know at 4 o'clock I can tune in, and it's been a real lifesaver for me, and I know a lot of other people. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing, because you're one of the things that a lot of us are looking forward to every day.
Well, I appreciate that so much. I always said that the part of the reason we did this was to be able to reach out to people all over the country and the world that I've been missing and I've been thinking about and worried about. So I appreciate you giving your expert advice. That's right, you're welcome. That was your free therapy session for the day. Take care, stay safe. Big hugs to Chris and your folks. Say hi to Mom and Dad, tell them I love them. This is Abby Long. She's my friend. She is a licensed therapist, and we appreciate her being here tonight. So until we see you again, okay, beautiful?
Bye.
Love you, honey. Oh,
love you too.
That
Take
was
care.
so good, so necessary. That's my friend. I'm so glad we did that. I'm so glad that she was around to check in with. She had some great advice, and I love the idea of setting something. And that's the thing, in the neighborhood we live in, people are going out on walks and they're experiencing new parts of Tennessee, and they're going to these parks that they may, as a family or even alone, haven't had a chance to visit before. And I think it's really special to just put something on the calendar because it does give you something to look forward to. And then, like she said, you have even more moments of gratitude, which is an important thing, and also honoring all the feelings that you're having. Because, hey, we're at episode 60, which means we've been at this for at least 10 weeks, and you're all in it with me. So thanks to Abby Long for visiting. That was our virtual therapy. No charge. Okay, we have a musical guest for you tonight, and I'm super excited. You heard her in the intro. She's a gorgeous singer. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. She's worked for many, many years in the opera community in San Diego, but also she was a student of mine who always had this glorious voice. She's kind-hearted. We reconnected recently. We did some chatting about her upcoming project that she's working on. And also she came to, during my last tour in California, she came to a house concert that I did with Noah and with Daniel, and we got to reconnect there. I'm so glad that she could be our guest this evening. We want to give you a little taste of what she sounds like. So let me introduce you to my friend. This is Anishka, and I can't wait for you to meet her and to hear her, because you are going to be very excited.
Hi, Randy. Thanks so much for including me in your Facebook Live today. It's an honor to be here with you all. I just wanted to share one little song, like a little snippet of a song, actually. I recorded this song for my album. We did the recording in February, about 3 weeks before the world shut down. Thank goodness we got it done, and I will release it this year, come hell or high water. It's a mixtape of 5 different songs that I've really just come to love over the years, and I wanted to share with the world and put my own twist on them. This song I thought was super appropriate for right now because one of the things I most miss during this quarantine pandemic period is human contact and touch. I've been told that I'm a good hugger, and not only do I enjoy giving hugs, I also enjoy receiving them, and that's just something we can't do right now, and I really miss that. So one of the songs I recorded is Embraceable You, and so I just wanted to share that with you today. Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grew gypsy in me. You unload and you bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to mama, do. My sweet embraceable you.
You're getting thunderous applause here from our audience of one, and of course the cameraman is giving you big love, but he can't applause. He can't applause?
Can't applause.
He can't applause. He can't applaud. That's my friend Anishka. I want her to tell you a little bit of what she's been doing. It was so odd. We just saw one another out in, I guess, the first weekend in March. So let's call her right now and see if she's home. Why? Because everybody must stay home. Yep, because everyone's home pretty much. So I'd be shocked if one of these times we called, or they called us and no one answered. So let's see. Hi, Ashlyn. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Jenny. Oh, look who it is. Lucky us.
Give me 1 second.
1 second.
There
You're
we
doing so
go.
much, honey. You're
Holy
great.
mackerel.
Hi,
Okay.
honey. This is my friend Anishka. We just heard your beautiful song. We heard your beautiful singing in the intro tonight. And we just heard the song that you did. So first of all, thank you for joining us. Tell all of the beautiful people where you are calling in from tonight. Where are you?
I too am in San Diego.
Yes, San Diego.
Yes, I'm in beautiful Linda Vista, and it's windy today, but gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
I never left you, San Diego. You're in my heart always. I never left you. So what I like to do when we have our musical guests on, and that was beautiful, by the way, and I haven't really, other than the things you've sent me, I haven't really heard you sing like that live-ish, in years, so it was really great. Tell us a little bit of what you were doing before the world ended. I like to get the before and the after. So before this happened, what was going on with you?
I was on the cusp of greatness.
Weren't we all?
I was ready to launch my career, kind of launch the next chapter of my life. I had recorded this album. It was all set to be mixed and mastered in March, and then hopefully released in the middle of the summer, and then use that to build an audience and start start touring. I was going to go to New York, and I was in the Greta Listener Wagner Division competition April 3rd. That got canceled. So it was just, it was a lot all at once that I felt like I had been working towards building a lot of momentum, and it all came to a screeching halt.
It did. It did. I know, it's very exciting, and I love that your history is so interesting, and all that you've done and all that you're now trying to do. Before we get on to what you're doing right now, tell us a little bit about the project that you were working on, the project that you were recording right before this all because that was really like right before this happened, right? Okay, tell us about that project. It's exciting, and I have a lot of music people on, Jenny in Boston and Louisa, who are beautiful singers themselves, and Linya, who will be interested in hearing what you have to say about that project.
Well, it was a project that I kind of came into, or that I discovered I needed and wanted to do when I realized that I didn't really want to be a part of the opera world in the traditional sense, and that I kind of needed to find my own lane. And so this album was my opportunity to create my lane, and I did. I mean, maybe it's not going to work out in the timeline that I had anticipated, but it's absolutely still happening.
Right.
And so I hired a bassist, a pianist, and a drummer, and we spent from August through February reworking arias and art songs. Art songs are classically sung songs that come from different countries and are based off of like poems from that country. They're beautiful songs that a lot of people aren't super familiar with. That's my dog. It's live. That's Petra. She's a love.
Hi, Petra.
And so, Mimi, sorry.
Oh, Mimi.
Petra, come here. Okay, that's happening. Petra, thank you, my love. I love my dog. And so, sorry.
We love your dog too, it's fine. Go ahead. You have no idea how many pets have made their way into music segments of this show. Running behind, running in front. Oh, it's like, you have no idea. You have no idea. It's fine. People can't get that on a CD.
So I found my lane, and we spent the months from August through February basically reworking these songs. We did a Brahms song. We did a Verdi aria. We did a French art song by a composer, chanson, Tumark, and we did a Cuban art song, which is the one that you played at the top, the
so good,
song.
yes.
And then Embraceable You. And so it was like, these were all the different parts of my brain. This is the different parts of who I am as an artist. I grew up speaking Spanish. I am a Wagnerian singer, so I had to have some German. I love French art songs. I'm a Verdi soprano, so I had some Verdi in there. I love jazz and Gershwin and things like that. So it was just kind of this mixtape. I grew up making mixtapes. I love mixtapes. And so I made my own mixtape with my own musicians from both sides of the border. I work internationally. I'm from Tijuana and in San Diego. And so it was really fun to create a project that used all these different elements.
Yes.
And it's pretty fabulous. If I don't say so myself.
What I've heard,
how it turned out.
Truth. What I've heard is incredible, and it really is. And I'm so glad that you were able to do it your way. I think that we talked a little bit about this before you did the project, and I appreciate you embracing. We had an artist on the other night that was talking about narrowing, because of this time, like narrowing in on what you really want and what as artists we want to do. And so I'm happy you were able to do that. It's beautiful. Okay, so now fast forward to the World Stops. Obviously, you're not doing any of your international gigs. You're not going to Mexico at all to travel, and you didn't fly for the competition. So what have you done during this time? Because I've seen a little of some of the things you put online. What have you done during this time to kind of like still create or do art?
Well, I really appreciate you opening this episode today talking about the mental health aspect of this and the hills and the valleys, right? Everyone talks about the hills and valleys, and I feel like in this particular period, the hills aren't that high and the valleys are super deep, And so it's been a bit of a struggle. I feel like some weeks I'm super productive, and I worked as a cook for 10 years, and so I'm making food and I'm Instagramming and I'm taking pictures, and it feels really awesome, and then I'll just lose it. Or then the next week I'm like, oh, that's right, I wanted to create a YouTube channel. What better time to create a YouTube channel? Let me do that. And so I make a few videos and I start getting stuff going and I feel really productive and it's awesome, and then I lose it. And so I've just been learning to try to ride that wave. And I think the biggest thing that has happened just recently, actually, was that a bunch of information came out about how singing is especially dangerous with a respiratory disease like a coronavirus. And so they're talking about effectively like not allowing singing, so not allowing choral singing, not allowing any type of concerts that involve singing because we spit a lot.
Yep.
Normally it's laughable. When it's like involves a virus, it's less funny. And so that news like hit me pretty hard. And I saw Opera Australia canceled through their winter season, and all this stuff just kind of, that got really loud. It got really heavy in my head. And at that point I realized I had to stop thinking about the future entirely, and that anything involving future tense or future productivity or future goals, I almost had to just take off the table completely. Yeah. And I'm coming up with actions and activities on a daily basis to just play and be in the moment. So I started drawing again, and I challenged myself to not care what the drawing's gonna look like, or walk into my kitchen and get out a bunch of ingredients, and who cares if it makes dinner or not? It's just to like play with ingredients and enjoy it. And I don't need to take pictures of it and post it on Instagram. I can just make it, and if I need it, great. If not, okay, I'll feed it to my roommate. Just take all the pressure of any kind of productivity, any type of goal or structure or anything out of it, so that I can just be in the moment, because anything involving the future right now just feels too heavy.
I love that. I've said a couple times here in this space that if you woke up today and you opened your eyes, even if you didn't make it out of bed, then good for you. And I really believe that, because people are struggling for many different reasons. I don't pretend to know what the reasons are, but people are struggling. We heard the same thing about the singers, as my friends like to say, being super spreaders. We're super spreaders. It's heartbreaking, but we'll figure it out. I know we'll figure it out. It's funny to me that for many, many years, I knew you as a student, and then we reconnected you as a performer and an adult. Always a wonderful soul and a really bright light. But then, the last time I saw you, I was in this house concert experience where the front row was literally right there. Like, I could touch you. And I don't know when that experience is going to happen again. I don't know, but I know that we had those moments, and it's okay. And now we have these moments. So, Well, I'm going to put some links up to not only that beautiful song that you did, but also your breathing exercise that you did online. That was really amazing, just to help people kind of cope. It's also a kind of therapy just through breathing, right? I thought that was really amazing. Tell us a little bit about where we can find your stuff. Either can we see your videos? Can we know more about you? You're getting lots of loves from people all over Albuquerque, New Mexico, New Jersey, California, Pasadena. So let me know where we can find you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I've taken it on. I finally taken ownership of my nickname, which is Nishi, and then when I worked in the kitchen, they called me La Tremenda, because I was a big presence and I'm also a large bean. And so my stage name, we'll call it, is Nishi La Tremenda. So you can find me on Instagram as Nishi La Tremenda. You can find my YouTube, Nishi La Tremenda. Tremenda means like tremendous in Spanish, and so it's just this kind of larger than life sense of self, and I've decided to embrace that. I'm an opera singer.
Embrace it.
I'm 6 feet tall. Like, you're gonna know when I walk in the room. I laugh.
I love it.
I'm feeling all of them.
And it sounds so much better when you say it than when I say it, because I am so glad you said it so beautifully, and I'm like, yes. Please introduce yourself from now on. That was gorgeous. Okay, so go on. So tell us what
I'm there, and I will be releasing content in regards to the mixtape, and slowly, I'm trying to figure it out. Redefine and reset my plan with this project, because I don't want it to get lost in the mass of stuff that's out right now. Right. I feel like this is a very special project, and I want it to move forward in that vein, and I want to honor it. And so I'm trying to figure out what that looks like, but come along for the ride, because I promise it's going to be a good one.
I love it. Well, we will definitely check you out. I'm so happy to see you looking beautiful, and I'm glad that you're safe. Let you go with one question. We do questions with the artists. They're always the same. So I'm going to give you one of them, which is my favorite one. What would you say has been a silver lining, if there is one, in this really hard time, this uncertain time? For you, what is your silver lining that maybe you take away from this?
I think that's what I've just kind of stumbled across in the last couple of weeks is this sense of play. And I think that if I can learn how to do that, if I can take this time and learn how to get out of the future and learn how to stay in the moment, because this is actually forcing me to. I always kind of told myself that I was doing that, but this has forced me to realize that I wasn't really. And so if I turned 40 in January, and so if I can turn 40 and have that sense of play back that we all have when we're kids and we kind of slowly lose as we grow up, if I can have that back and I can move into this next decade of my life with that sense of like being in the moment and being creative and letting that be whatever it is instead of putting any type of projections or expectations on it, then like this will, despite all of its difficulties and its hardship, like it'll serve a profound like purpose and meaning in my life.
Yeah, fantastic. I love the perspective. I love it. I think it's really, we've had some really good advice on the show tonight, so I love that. I appreciate you being here. I can't wait to hear your project when it's finally ready for the world to hear it. And just stay safe and keep doing what you're doing, and we will check in again when I'm back in San Diego, okay?
I love it. I love it. Take care. Thank you so much for
your... Of course! That's Nishi. Or Anishka, as I know her too, although Nishi is awfully cute. I really like that. Hey, look, we have Chicago on. So nice to see you, Ward. We have Colin on from Pennsylvania every night. Have you missed one, Colin? I don't think so. You get an award, and you get a car. And John is on. Hey, John. What a great night. What a beautiful night. I'm really, well, it never ceases to amaze me that I can be very sad and then all of a sudden not so sad at all. It's the strangest thing. I don't know. I come into this having thoughts, and then my people are there and they sort of cheer me up. It's really amazing.
Makes no difference who you
appreciate you being here. I appreciate our guests so much. I appreciate this space we've created for 60 episodes. We are going to be rolling to a halt here. Almost 60. Well, we're going to be rolling to a halt here pretty soon because things are opening back up, and so we're going to taper off a little bit in the week ahead, but we want to tell you that we love you and we appreciate you being here. Take care. Stay safe. Skylar has something she wants to say. Go ahead.
Your track.
No.
We're
We're going to get it. By 61, I'm telling you, we got it.
Take two.
Take two. Fix it in post, Daddy. Your
vibe
attracts your
tribe.
And we love our tribe. Hey, thanks for being here tonight. Take care. We love you.